to just give it a quick second before we jump in and start. But before we do, I hope everyone's having a wonderful, wonderful morning, enjoying your weekend. And, my weekend, I still work over the weekend because I feel like you gotta utilize the days, man. Consistency. And I was gonna talk about something different today, but this one just popped up right when I was setting this up. So I said, you know what, this would be a good talk to have. This would be a good talk to have. Go a little deep today. And because some people may ask this question, I know I've asked this question many times in my life: do prayers really get answered? So if you pray for something, does that automatically say that it will happen? Or that prayer will come to fruition, or that wish or hope will be granted? And the answer is yes and no, which I know doesn't sound like the best answer, but yes or no. And if you're stumbling upon this episode today, this is Daily Motivation, 365 Days of Consistency, doing the same things over and over again until they become a habit. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you for the love. I really appreciate it. Now, the question is, do prayers truly get answered? And again, the answer is yes and no. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the love. Yes, in the way of you have to know how to pray. Prayer, looks like the phone's not charging. Let me just make sure it's charging. All right, so I just want to make sure it didn't die on me. Sorry about that, everybody. Yes, in the sense, it does. But no, in the sense that some prayers will not be answered, will not be allowed. Why? Because it's helping us grow as human beings. And that's always your soul's intention. First and foremost is to grow. It's to expand. It's to elevate. It's to become more than it is. It's always trying to push the envelope and be at the leading edge of you. And so some things will not be answered. Why? Because it's going to help you grow. Because that's the first intention. Now it reminds me of the story of Paul from the good book, the disciple Paul. And I remember him talking about and I got this from a great speech from Charlie Stanley. And he asked God, can I have this thorn in the flesh, this messenger from Satan, these things that keep happening to me, can you relieve them from my life? Can you prevent me and stop me from being shipwrecked? Can you prevent and stop me from being stoned and whipped? Can you prevent and stop the church chasing me? Can you prevent and stop jail time? All these things he prayed to the Lord. Can you remove these things from my life? And God answered back, no. Because I know these things are shaping you to become the person that you were meant to be. See, the things about diamonds, when you add pressure to diamonds or you add pressure to coal, it makes diamonds. Because there's something about the weight of pressure. There's something about having to go through adversity. There's something about having to go through pain that shapes us. If we let it, shapes us into the person we're supposed to be. How do you get stronger? It's like lifting weights. Sometimes you have to break up the muscle. You have to pain the muscles for it to get stronger. So sometimes things are going to happen to your life for you to become stronger. It reminds me of a friend of mine, their father passed. But though that was a tough situation, I know that if they could go back, they would pray for that to never happen. But the person they became afterwards, because the responsibility that they had to step up to, hey Sonia, thank you for watching. The step up that they had to do for their own family since that passing, I seen it shaped and molded them to become a stronger individual. Though it was a tough adversity, though it was a tough thing, though they prayed for it not to happen, but though it did happen, it actually helped them elevate in their life. So some prayers will not be answered. It all depends on, is it pushing you towards who you're supposed to be? There's jobs that I prayed for that I didn't get, but it helped mold me to become the person you see on the screen. There's things that I asked for. There's relationships that I wish to have that did not happen, because if they did happen, I could not become the man I was meant to be. So that's the reason why some prayers do get answered and some do not. It all depends. Is it elevating you? Because there's some things that you would wish would not happen, but if it didn't happen, you could not become the person that you were meant to become. And number two, is prayers do get answered, but many of us don't know how to pray. You know, it's in the Hebrew that believes that the spoken word is a prayer. Every time you open up your mouth, you're praying. So all the things that you say, great to see you today. Thank you, Sonia. Everything that you say is the spoken word, is the word of God, is the high energy vibration. So when you speak, you are actually asking for things to happen in your life. That's why affirmations are so important. But prayer, you know, Napoleon Hill talks about this. Prayer, usually people come from a lack place. They already have reached the bottom and now they're praying, hey, get me out of this problem. Versus if every day you're speaking things into existence, this will happen. Everything will work out for me. I will make the money that I need to. I will have the family and members I will need to. I will have this great relationship. Everything's going to be perfectly. I've seen it happen in my own life. When I was facing a trial that could have landed me in prison. And I remember saying every day was my mantra. They're going to drop the case. They're going to drop the case. But they're going to drop the case. People arguing me. How you know? The lawyer's saying, man, Rich, you know what you're facing, all this stuff, all this negative stuff. And I said, it's fine. They're going to drop the case. And she was like, okay. All right, maybe we'll see if the judge is cool and everything like that. I was like, don't worry. They're going to drop the case. And then they ended up dropping the case. And that is how I truly became a believer in the spoken word. Because every day I said it. Every day I believed it. Every day I affirmed it. And it happened. And that was the turning myself into a win situation where my back was against the wall. Everything looked like it was not going to work out. Everything looked terrible for me. And in a day, in an instant, I get that phone call and say, hey, they dropped the case. So that truly made me a believer. Sonia says, I believe it is how badly we want what we are praying about. That's true, Sonia. It has to be. But it can't be from a lack situation. Now, if you're praying for something and you're praying because you don't have it and you need it, that's still sending an energy of lack into your life. So those type of prayers don't really truly get answered because you have a vibration of lack that you don't have. But if you listen to Joel Osteen and how he prays that where he's asking for already is done. So if you come and you pray, hey, it's done already. It's good. We're fine. Everything's perfect. Everything's going to work out. The money is coming. The relationship is coming. The health is coming. The health is here. It's done. When we pray like that, that is a stronger vibration of confirmation, not just of, hey, I hope something will happen. You know, Napoleon Hill talks about it all the time. Your hopes won't come to fruition, but what you affirm exclusively will. Yes, Sonia, I've seen it work in my own life. Jasmine says, prayer from gratitude is the most powerful. Yes, Les Brown talks about this. Says, I am thankful and grateful for blank. Already, even if it hasn't come to fruition. I am thankful and grateful for the millions in my life. I'm thankful and grateful for a great relationship with my wife. I'm thankful and grateful for healthy kids. Like those type of affirmations and prayers. Again, like the Hebrew said, the spoken word. Anything you say is a prayer. So if you affirm exclusively what you want, you are actually attracting it and letting the universe know that you are ready for what you've asked for. But again, not all prayers will be answered. It all depends if it's helping you grow. Because there may be some adversity in your life that you have to go through. I remember a quick story with my sister. Like she had this rare disease. And she prayed for it to leave her. It prayed for her to leave her. And it would not leave her. All the things she tried to do wouldn't happen. Until she became content with the disease and started praying that I'm good. Everything's going to work out. Everything's perfectly fine. Not wishing, take this disease away from me, but everything's fine. And it wasn't until the point she reached a certain level that she was saying to the universe that I've learned why this is happening. That's all I think the disease came from for her to learn. I'm attracting negative things in my life from my negative belief system, from my negative words that I use. And I seen the change in her before the disease was relieved. And then once that change happened, that's when somebody came and became a donor for her kidney. So it's all about, Sonia says, if it does not work out, continue to pray. If it doesn't work out, continue to pray. Absolutely. I always say put actions behind your prayer. You know, faith without actions is dead. So always put actions behind your prayer. It's really the true essence of success is act as if. If you can act as if what you want is already done, that's the ultimate prayer. That's the ultimate prayer. Why? Because that's ultimate faith. That's ultimate expectation. That's ultimate knowingness. That I'm not praying for something that I hope will happen. I'm praying for something that I know will happen. And when you affirm those things, that's when those prayers truly start to work into your life. Trust me, my back was been against the wall multiple times. And each time I affirm this is going to work out well. And I try to learn the lessons of why this was happening and try to surpass the lessons. It was a good book. I can't remember the book I read it in. It's like every adversity is a lesson. And the faster you can get past the lesson, the faster those things will relieve you. But only when you can actually learn from what you're going through. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate the love. Thank you, Jasmine. I appreciate the love. And anyone else that watches this now or later, I also appreciate it. Even though if I didn't shout you out, just because I can't see you. But I truly believe prayer does work. But only if you could truly learn the lessons that you're going through. And only when you can affirm what you want has already happened and it's done. And I affirm that many people will watch this. They will going to enjoy this talk, and it's going to help improve their life and their mental health even more. Love is love. Oh, again, you could agree with me or not agree with me, but either way, I feel this was a successful conversation. Love is love. Thank you, Sonia. Love is love, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you, Jazz. Thank you, Sonia. And thank you, anyone else that had a chance to watch this that I didn't have a chance to see, because I just can't see you. But I appreciate the love. Love is love, and I appreciate all of you. Have a blessed day. Enjoy it. And remember, speak what you want to your own existence. Namaste.